Black and white story in a me mind. Yeah. Say we have to analyze it. Me, I go tell you little something about white history. Say how they condemn us throughout slavery. They say we were black and very ugly. I lie them a telling of them history. Cause black is beautiful, the whole of them agree. Them come out of the mountains and mix up with seed. Here we go, my friends, in the black and white history. Yeah, it's black, black, black. It's white, white, white. But let we tell the story. But let we tell the story. May I will tell you a little truth about the black histories for the people who can hear and those who can see. Well, the truth about the way body when the first to come up with biology to analyze the lives in the society when the first to come up with Egyptology to construct the pyramids that you see when the first to come up with psychology to analyze the minds in the vicinity when the first to come up with musicology to put the rhythm in your soul and make it rock steady. Correction, my friends, with the black and white history. Yeah, it's black, 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 it's white, white, white. But let we tell the story. Yes, it's black, 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 it's white, white, white. But let we tell the story. Black and white story in my mind. We ain't say we have to analyze it. Black and white story in my mind, in my mind, in my mind. We hey, we hey. Black and white story in my mind. We say we have to analyze it. May I go tell you a little something about white history. Say how they condemn us throughout slavery. They say we were black and very ugly. I lie them, I tell enough of them history. Cause black is beautiful, the whole of them agree. They come out of the mountains and mix up the sea. Here we go, my friends, in the black and white history. Yeah, it's black, 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 it's white, white, white. But let we tell the story. Yes, it's story. May I go tell you a little truth about the black history. For the people who can hear and those who can see. We're the first to come up with anatomy. With biology, to analyze the life in our society. We're the first to come up with Egyptology, to construct the pyramids that you see. We're the imagine the history. Yeah, it's black, 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 it's white, white, white. But let we tell the story. But let we tell the story. Black and white story in my mind. Oh yeah, say we have to analyze it.
Welcome, 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 one and all. Those that are logged in and logged on Twitter, those that are logged in and logged on Facebook, on King Simon Production and King Simon Presents. You know what that is. So we got a good time tonight. And of course, those that are logged on YouTube at King Simon Presents. Oh, my palm is scratching. That means some money is coming. I like that. I like that. That's the way. I like it. Okay, and today we have a very special guest with us today. We have the one, the only, Sonia Alleyne. She is a television correspondent on Black Enterprise Business Report. And it is interesting, and that I've known her for some years, and she's done some wonderful work, not just in Black Enterprise, but various other places. But we're going to be speaking about that momentarily, and also she is now an author for a journal for career professionals called I Kick Ass at Work. Lord have mercy. I kick ass at work. I like that title, man. And I ain't putting I ain't putting I ain't putting nothing on top of that. I kick ass at work because I know I kick ass at my business. So I know what it is. But first, I just want to remind everybody we do have a content disclaimer. I ain't playing with none of y'all. Content disclaimer. Views, comments, and opinions expressed by guests, speakers, or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcaster and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Yes. So we're going to make sure, always got to cover your backside. Always got to cover back. If you're in this type of media, you got to cover your backside or you'll be saying alleged this, alleged that. I have no no idea why I said that. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta make sure. And plus the sponsors might not even deal with us, So I hope everybody is tuning in. How y'all doing? I see Buffalo, New York is in the building. What's up, Buffalo? Yeah, where y'all hailing from? But we're going to talk about that momentarily. I just want to let everyone know that coming up this coming Wednesday, we have another special guest coming up right here on King Simon Presents. The K.S.P family is going to be welcoming back the one, the only Empress, Dr. Neat. That's right. Let's give her a round of applause. Let's make sure he get that round of applause. Yes, thank you very much. And that's right. Dr. Empress Neat will be in the building, and she's going to be speaking about her excellence course and the priest of the home. So we're going to be broadcasting on YouTube again, Facebook at King Simon, and Facebook at my public page, King Simon Production, and also Twitter. So if you Twitter, King Simon Prod is the Twitter. Those people that are on the move can be on Twitter. Y'all could tweet all day. And since we're talking about that, boom, remember, ladies, this is for you. This is an online course, Real Natural Ladies. I'm not playing with none of y'all. I don't care what's going on in the world right now, but this sister is about the real healing for ladies, deep healing and soul restoration for ladies. Classes every Sunday beginning October the 11th from 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And for more information and registration, please hit her up at herexcellencecourse.com. That's herexcellencecourse.com. Enough respect to her as one of our sponsors. And just want to remind everyone, those that are looking for a natural gynecologist and somebody that just does acupuncture and know how to put those herbs from Africa, from Asia, from all over the world together, we have Dr. IKAAW, and this is her website. And if you want that 10% off, this is the 10% off coupon code. That's right. Get that, save that 10% with this coupon code at King2020 at www.pedalwise.com. She got some great products. Go exhibit, go check it out. Make sure you share this video because we got a lot of pertinent information for those that are in business. And when you stop playing, okay? Gotta stop playing. Y'all know Black Enterprise, that magazine was doing its thing, but when I read her accolades, y'all gonna say, this sister is hot and she's smart and she about that business. Also, next sponsor, beautiful Janelle Lewis, licensed real estate salesperson. That's our licensed real estate salesperson. And if you want to find out about purchasing any property in the tri-state area or just learn how to get your credit up, this sister can help you out. 347-866-1153. That's 347-866-1153. And tell her that the K.S.P family got you. We hooking you up. That's what we do. All right? That's what we do. All right? Because we love you and we love you and we know you love me too. That's right. And I see someone in the backstage. I better bring her up in a few seconds. Let me just make sure I got that popping here. Of course, this lady, that one of my co-hosts, this beautiful sister, have 1 million adornments Man, let me tell you, when people see her earrings popping, Lord, everybody started shopping. I like that. When people see her earrings popping, everybody come a shopping. And without any further ado, because my sister's in the backstage for you, let's give her a well-deserved round of applause and welcome Empress Aisha in the building. What's up, girl? How you doing? How you doing? I can't hear you. Mic off. Your mic off. What's going on? Yeah, I got to turn your mic off. You got to turn it on. See, you turn your mic off. Your mic is off. Can't hear you. Uh-huh. I thought I had to start doing sign language. Oh, there you go.
Repeat. Okay, I have to repeat that.
I'm about to do the sign language for you. I was like, okay, maybe I got. Hey, wait a minute. I got this. Yeah. What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing great today. Yes.
In and out.
Lighting. My lighting's a little bit different today, so.
Okay.
You try to put a little curtain, a curtain up to fix it, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me good?
I can hear you good. Yes.
Okay, so I see an aura on the other side, so that must be an angel on the other side of you there. So I got this. I understand what's going on here. You trying to spook people out. That's what you spooking people out. That's what you want to do. You spooking.
If I turn it off, you might not see me, you know.
Okay, all right, don't worry. Hey, no, if you turn it off while I'm there, you won't see me. So I understand that. This is I'm a different person. I'm a whole different person here. Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Gotta drink my shots.
I should have a cup of water. You know what?
There ain't no water, girl. Huh?
I have this pump right here. Hold on, let me show it to you.
Okay, good.
Hold on, let me show it. This thing is heavy.
Well, do your thing.
Hold on, let me get it.
While she's getting that, let me remind y'all, if y'all want to do a Numerovation session with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. If you want to do a Numerovation session with me, text your full name, date of birth to 347-496-1022. Okay. So let's see what the sister says she got. She got a pump.
Yeah, so this is my water. I gotta drink all my water, you know. It's a lot of water.
So where the pump at?
It's so hard. I had to get it rinsed off because I can't put that back in my thing.
Right. I understand. So how's your day? Everything been all right?
Here it is. Can I have a cup? Can I have a cup real quick? Just gotta put the family on just in case we didn't know about this. But I didn't know about this.
All right, do your thing.
Looking for a water tank,
Okay, let me block you up a little. You talking to the family?
Yeah. So.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Maybe my lighting is too bright up in here.
Don't worry.
Anyway, so this is the pump. It has like a little cord thing to it.
Yes, I've seen that at Queen of Fools' place. Yes, she has one of those. Yes.
It has like little buttons at the top, so you just press it, and the water just do what it do.
Yes.
Anyway,
yes. Okay. Yes. Let me finish shouting out some people here. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, okay, no problem. First of all, let me see. All right, look, celebrating the life and legacy of Dr. Laila Africa on September the 21st. Yes, upload your memories on to social media and pictures and videos. Hashtag Dr. Laila Africa. Remember, hit them up at Twitter. You hit up the legacy line at Twitter at Laila Africa, Facebook, Dr. Laila Africa, YouTube, Laila Africa, and also, of course, also at Instagram at Laila Africa. So yes, we're doing a tribute on, and I spoke to the wife today, spoke to Dr. Melanie today, and we're doing a tribute for Dr. Laila Africa on September the 21st. Celebrating the life and legacy of our great brother. And please subscribe to Dr. Laila Africa. Legends live forever. His website, the official website for Dr. Laila Africa is www.lailafrica.com. And some of y'all might Google up that name and get something else, or Google up Dr. Africa. This is the official website. These are the official social media that his wife and family run. So we just want to make sure y'all are clear on that, because there's some shysters out there. As soon as the man pass on, they're acting crazy. That's all they doing. As soon as he transition, they start acting crazy. One ice hole had the nerve to say they don't give a F about Dr. Africa right after he transitioned. So, you know, be careful of the websites that you go to. So this is his official website. His classes are on there. He videotaped all his classes prior to him transitioning. So, and his classes, I have friends that have taken his classes. It's intense because remember, Dr. Laila Africa was a medical nurse before, in the military, before he went into holistic. And so he showed you the different aspect from, because in regular allopathic medicine, they focus on the male energy more because it's Europeans and all that. They go from the male energy. In African culture, we use male and female. So Dr. Laila Africa and people like Charles Finch was always able to give the balance of herbs and herbal balance and understanding medicine, or your herbs being your medicine, from a of metaphysics, but also a holistic perspective. So once again, on the 21st, celebrating the life and legacy of Dr. Laila Africa, September 21st. Upload your memories to social media, pictures and videos, and hashtag Dr. Laila Africa, and of course, all the social media that you see up there. And that's what we're doing. Okay, so I see my sister's already in the room. She's backstage, and I'm bringing her. Of course, Empress Aisha back up. Okay, that light, you just got darker now, my sister. Okay, this is what's going on with you. You might need to put the light in front of you, you know. My goodness. What you doing? Now you look like there's an angel appearing at the side of you there.
Oh, there we go. Did what it do. Oh my gosh.
Well, what we're gonna do is bring up our sister right now, because she's on the backstage there, and I want to make sure let me throw that book up there, show you what things look like, because that's the book, I Kick Ass at Work. I just love saying that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. I kick ass at work. And I have no bones about it, because I kick ass in my business. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. I'll remove you, and then we're going to bring up our sisters without any further. First, let me read her bio. Sonia Alleyne is an accomplished content, media, and career strategist with an established track record generating effective messaging for broad, diverse audience by crafting key narratives and raising representation where it matters. Sonia is the former press secretary and director of public information for the New York City Department of Finance. You know what that means. Stop playing. Prior to this, she was the editorial director at Black Enterprise, directing cross-platform editorial exclusive with top business talent. She is widely recognized for her career and financial development contributions as TV correspondent on Black Enterprise Business Report and Our World with Black Enterprise. Sonia is the thought leader behind Nationwide Career Development Conference and co-authored award-nominated professional development literature. Sonia now gifts deserved career women with I Kick Ass at Work, an in-depth guide to career navigation, self-promotion, and professional self-governance. We want to welcome on our stage the one, the only Sonia Alleyne in the building. What's up, girl? Let's give her a round of applause, of course, before we bring her up. There she is. Got the round of applause. Got to bring the round of applause. There she is. What's up? There she is. Don't let me start singing now. Don't let me start. How you doing, Sonia?
I am good. I forgot how much I kick ass.
Yeah, exactly. You got so much of the accolades in the book. You forgot how much you kicking ass.
That sounds pretty good.
Matter of fact, you kick ass and take names, numbers, addresses, and you get their ancestry and their future legacy coming.
That's it.
How you been, Sonia? How you been? Everything all right?
Good, good. Yeah. So thank you so much for, allowing me to share this platform with you. You and I go way back. And so
Yes.
it's always good catching up with you and sharing the stage with you.
Well, let me introduce you to Empress Aisha in the building. Empress, say what's up.
I am looking forward to talking with you as well. And thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yes. When I read about your book, I was like, what? Oh my God, I need your book. Thank you so much. I can't wait to order it. I had just recently read about it, and I was like, "What? This is where have you been all my life?" Oh my God!
That's right, cause we need a few more assistants to kick some more asses. What's so funny? We went to a barbecue at a dojo where they do kick ass at. And so that's where I know there was more encouragement to kick backside.
See, I did Aikido on the cushion floor. I wasn't bad enough to do the jujitsu, but I need cushion on the floor.
Yes, of course. I understand Aikido, the flow of the Aikido. Oh, matter of fact, Aikido made our jujitsu better because of the flow.
Right.
Exactly. And what's so interesting, right? Steven Seagal did Aikido, but he also did jujitsu on the television, on the movies. So.
Absolutely. So life is all about flow. So
all about the flow. That's right. Now, with this new journal, because it's not just a book, it's a journal.
The journal, yeah.
And it's very important that people know why they need journals for strategy, because a lot of business people out there can be all over the place. A lot of career people can be all scattered all over the place. And as I was going through your books, I see how you was putting things in order, and then you give basic sayings and quote and today's date and what this means. Why was it important for you to put out a book like this day in this day and time?
Well, I had two inspirational sources for that. The first was I was sitting in a job that I didn't like. I didn't feel appreciated. I didn't feel valued. But beyond that, when I interview people, I always say to them, like, what do you want your LinkedIn story to look like when you leave here? What do you want your resume to say when you leave here? And so I believe you work in advance of the narrative that you want to create, the story that you want to create. And so I was sitting in a job feeling like I hadn't done that. I felt like the advice that I would give to anybody who I would coach or mentor, I wasn't doing. And so I took a minute at work, and I decided to write down all of the things that I had done in this position. And when I finished, 2 pages later, I looked at it and I was just like, I kick ass at work. And what I realized is that when you're in a work environment, there's so many things that you need to be familiar with. Like, it's deadline after deadline. You're managing people, you're managing bosses. There's games, there's politics, there are all these things that are going on in an environment. But you need to be focused on what your contributions are. So the minute I was able to look at everything I had done, I was able to feel a lot more empowered about who I was and what my contributions were to the job. And so I eventually left, but it would have been a starting point for me to assert myself very differently in the workplace. And so the reason I created this, and so the second thing that influenced me was I was a huge Mad Men fan. So working in media, loved that series. And Don Draper, who was the star of the show, an episode where he came home after a really rough day and journaled about what his experience was that day. And I thought that was really powerful to sit and really examine what your behavior was, what was going on in the environment, but more importantly, like, what is your response to what's actually going on in the environment? And so the journal is twofold. It's one for women. I created it primarily for women. It's for women to really examine their behavior in the workplace and to take ownership for what they do really well and for the things that they do that actually trip them up at work as well. And the second thing was to document your successes as they happen, because the further you move away from accomplishment, the less details you remember about it. And so I had experienced that. And so if you were going to be owning your story and if you were telling your narrative to get your next job, because every job you're in, you're really preparing for your next experience, right? And so to get that next opportunity, you have to be able to successfully tell your narrative, tell your story. And so this is an opportunity for you to see it and have a complete story. Because what usually happens is, when do people do their resume? When they're really frustrated about their job, so they're angry, they've got all this negative emotion around that. Or you run into somebody and they go, hey, I got an opportunity for you, send me your resume. And so now you're scrambling at the 11th hour trying to put your resume together. Your resume and your LinkedIn profile should be living documents. Like, you should be updating that regularly, fixing, changing, and adding and perfecting. So when an opportunity comes up, two things happen. So now you are reminded regularly that I do really good work at my job. And if an opportunity comes up, you're ready for it. You're not now sitting trying to prepare or scramble to put your narrative together. You know what it is. And so it was a wake-up call for me, and I imagined that this would be really helpful for other folks too. And so it's broken down in a couple of different ways. The very first part of the journal talks about my personal experience and what I realized in the workspace that changed how I operated at my job. The second part is the tactical stuff. Why you need a journal, why this is helpful. They have a lot of little like tidbit information about having your advisory board at understanding your skills and your talents and documenting those. And then the rest of it is the journal, where you actually get to document and look at what has happened at work, whether you had a challenge, whether you had a really good day, whether somebody dropped some science and you're taking that in as inspiration. And then the back of the book is when you document all of your achievements and all of your.
That's good. Sonia.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sonia, I like the fact that you focus on women and how you focus about women and how we need to learn how to rethink, to revise how we function out here. And I think that you have to be a little hold on, my phone doing that. Sorry, I have my phone too close to the door. Could you hear me better?
No, yeah.
Okay. And you spoke about being selfless and how we was taught for so many years to be selfless and to focus, on everyone and everything but ourselves. And I love how you said that. Could you just go more into that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's how, I was raised and many of my friends were raised. As kids, growing up in a Caribbean household, we were taught to be seen and not heard. We would take little and live long. Like, there were all of these things that we were taught, like not to be boastful, to be humble, and to work really hard. So we were always taught to work really hard. And in school, we could see the payoff, right? So if you really worked hard at school, you would get the good grades, you would get on the dean's list, you would get the scholarship. And so we just thought we could transfer all of that, like to put our head down, work hard, and transfer all of that into the workplace. And so in the beginning of the journal, what I talk about is, that was my awakening. Like, I kept waiting to be acknowledged. So I worked hard. I took on all sorts of assignments. I outperformed in everything that I did. And I kept waiting for somebody to say, good job, Sonia. We're going to give you a raise. Good job, Sonia. You're going to get this title. And I watched my male colleagues go in and ask for it, demand it. They were a lot more assertive. And so, here it is. I was with peers who were making more money than I was, and they had more titles or higher titles than I did. And but I was doing a lot more work. Mm-hmm. So it was, you know, I talk about in the book how I went to my boss at that point. Now I'm frustrated and I'm angry. And I went to him and I was just like, this is what I'd like as a salary. I remember him like feverishly going over the calculator going, that's 17%. Like we never get a 17% raise. And I was just like, but look at all the things that I did. And he had to take a minute and be like, oh yeah, I see you've done this, I see this, I see that. And then he said to me, he was like, Sonia, but managing your career is your responsibility. And I was so angry in that moment because I had worked so hard and I put myself in so many different ways. But I also realized that he was absolutely right. Like it wasn't his responsibility to say, hey, you've been doing all of this over here. We're going to reward you with this. It was my responsibility to say, this is what I feel I'm worth. This is what I want. And if it's not what I want, then I should be looking for something else, or I should be looking for other opportunities. And a lot of times we don't sit in aggravation, we'll sit in silence, we'll watch all these things go on. I mean, I've had, you know, someone had asked me a question going back several years ago, like, should I ask for a raise because the company is going through rough times? Like women, that's how we think. Like the company's going through rough times. Like I'm not going to ask for a raise now.
Yeah, should you ask for it?
It's like if I'm doing the work and I'm contributing to this organization, this is what I feel it's worth. And I mean, I don't mean to delineate, but there are women, and I've learned from many of them who understand that and they do that. But I did create this book for women, particularly struggling in their careers, trying to figure out like how they can just take more control of the situation and of their future.
I like that. I need to know what's the difference between being assertive and aggressive when you're trying to push forward, as far as being a female.
You know, there is a difference. You know, what we often hear is that men are assertive and women are perceived as aggressive. I mean, it is, you know, one of the reasons I titled this book IKAAW at Work was not for it to have any kind of physical assertiveness or aggressiveness, but it was to be intentional. And I think that that's really more important than to be really clear about what we want. One of my mentors, who I quote several times in the journal, says that one of the biggest derailers for careers is people just being unclear, right? And we even know that spiritually, like before you can manifest, like you have to decide on what you want. The minute you decide, then you can create your strategy for how things are going to work. And the universe also is clear about where you're going. And so you can get the support you need to be able to do that. And so a lot of times we just allow ourselves to just kind of let our emotions get the best of us. We are not really clear on what we want. We're not really sure if this is the organization we want to be with. And so this journal hopefully will help people figure those things out. Because the minute you can get clear, that's when you can start to put together a plan that's going to get you and put you in the direction that you need to go.
When you do what I need to also understand clear or try to understand is with that, it's like you have that selflessness when it comes to your job, and then it pertains to your family and your whole house. Like how do you transition that into your home life, and to realize that this all goes hand in hand. There's no separation between the two worlds.
Well, I think they're choices. And so, you know, for a long time, the narrative has been like, you know, can we find balance? And what I have found in my life and in a lot of the women who ran organizations and were in the C-suite of organizations is that it's really the choices that you have to make. And that's going to make the difference. That makes all of the difference. So you don't really know that if balance seems like it may be a myth. But you have to decide on, it goes back to deciding on what you actually want to do and how you want to do it. Like, you want to spend more time. You know, I've interviewed women who were very aggressive and successful in their careers, and their daughters decided, you know what, I really want to focus on raising a family. Like, I'm happy becoming maybe a VP, director, or a VP, but I don't really want to be an SVP. I don't want to be the CEO of an organization. And it's all fine. Those are choices. But I think that's what's important for women to be able to make. It's a choice to decide what you want to do and to focus on what's important and to figure out you talked earlier about the flow, right? To figure out how all those things can flow in your life. There are going to be some sacrifices, but I think that you can create happy mediums to make these things happen. And the support we have at home is also really important.
Okay.
What our partners look like and what our village looks like, so that we can maintain those things. I was fortunate enough, I had my parents here. There were a lot of things that I was able to do in my career that I might not have been able to do if I didn't have that support to do those things.
Got it.
So it's really looking at where we are and then making hardcore decisions. And that's why I titled the book IKAAW. You can't be passive about this. You can't be, I'm not sure, I don't know. Like, and not to say, right, so there are levels in all organizations. So you have your A and B players. Those are the folks that are going to always do well. They're going to be promoted. They're going to get the raises. You have your D players who will probably either get fired or leave or fall off somewhere in the organization. And then you have your C players, those who are, they're content coming to work every day, putting the sprinkles on the donut. They're not, thinking about promotion. They're not thinking about advancement. They're happy in their job. And that's fine. Those are all choices. That's fine. I created this journal for people who really want to advance, who want to feel like that they are being driven to do something better and stronger, but they're either lost or frustrated, or they're too wrapped up in their emotions to be able to just be clear about what it is that they need to do.
I love that. Now, K.S.P. your name.
I'm sorry?
I said now.
Oh, I heard. I lost the last part of what you said.
Oh,
you probably have to. Your phone is on too. Your phone is on too, Aisha. Okay, your phone is on.
No.
Yeah, Sonia? You hear me?
I can hear you.
Good,
Yeah.
good. I just want to make sure. Oh, hold on one second. Just want to make sure that everybody understands. If you want to contact our beautiful sister, it's scrolling on the bottom. Contact Sonia Alleyne for business consultation. You could email her at Sonia@wordsimagesmagic.com. That's Sonia@wordsimagesmagic.com. And remember, wordsimagesmagic.com. And also, that's the website. And remember, you could actually get and purchase the book at hunterpublishinggroup.com. That's hunterpublishinggroup.com. And for some financial love, guess what? You can send some cash out to $IKAAW. I kick ass at work. I like that. Yeah, go ahead. Empress, you put yourself on. Okay, got you. Trying to get your view. Oh, there you go. Good. There you are.
I'm here.
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly, Simon. Aisha, I'm just a little. I hear it's a little spotty.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm here on my side too.
Wow, there's a whole lot of spotting going on here. Okay. Don't worry about that.
Take me off for a little while, King Simon, just for a half minute. Let me figure this out.
Take you off. Okay. Okay.
That was clear.
Okay. Oh, I removed the. Okay. Yes. So, why is it?
All the technology stuff.
Yeah. It's something else. But getting back to you, because you've done so much throughout your life, my sister. Of course. Let's start off with this. Of course, being a former press secretary and director of the public information for the New York City Department of Finance. But now, what does that entail?
That was interesting. So the Department of Finance is a $30 billion organization, and they are responsible for collecting all of your parking tickets and the taxes, the property taxes. And so it's it's an organization that always has its hands in the citizens' pockets. So, there was a lot of stuff that we had to deal with. It was fast paced, fast moving. It was my first foray into government. And so it was interesting. I did a lot of great things there, but I recognized that the political life is not for me. And so, it was fascinating. Like I said, did a lot of things, got them a lot of press, worked with a lot of great people and learned a lot of things, developed some really strong skill sets there as well. Every job is a great learning opportunity. But the political life, and we watch it, like you always have to be safe, and you can't take any chances. You can't go out on limbs, because anything you say and anything you do can be used against you later on. And you're always in the court of public opinion. And so you have to have a pretty thick skin to be able to do it. So I was there for 5 years, and it was a good run. But I know that political life is not for me. I'm clear.
But you also went down the road of working with Black Enterprise, my dear, as an editorial director. Now, what was it like with meeting Earl Graves? Let's deal with that.
Well, he died. He passed away earlier this year.
Yes, I remember. It's a condolence.
Yeah, I am really grateful to have worked with him. I don't know if there are any more like him. Like he was he was strict.
Yes.
He was a perfectionist. He believed in the advancement of, most of our Black groups, that's what they stand for. But, you got to witness this man was really for the advancement of Black people. I remember one time we were in, we had this meeting area, the amphitheater, and he walked in and he was just like, didn't realize Black people were all doing okay. And we were looking at him all puzzled. And he says, I sit on all of these boards. I have access to the White House. I work for all of these, I have connections with all these organizations, and none of you have come and asked me for recommendations for schools or jobs for your kids. And so he was that guy who was always putting himself out to support anyone who needed it. He fought for people who didn't even know that they needed his help. Yes. He sat on numerous boards. He spoke to numerous presidents. He was a supporter of Barack Obama when he was running for the Senate. Going to his office to ask. So after that, I went to ask for my daughter to get a recommendation for her to go to school. And I walked in his office, and he was just like, "I hope you're here to talk about how we're going to get this young man elected." That was his focus. It was like, if he went on a photo shoot and there weren't Black people taking the photos or, setting up he would lose it. He was just like, so we couldn't find any Black people who could hold the camera or understand our question, he was, I don't know if there are many more like him, passionate about it. And, I feel like I'm rambling because there's just so much love and respect that I have for him. I learned so much, and I was fortunate to work with him. He was very strict, and people who were critics were sometimes critics of his level of strictness. But he came up at a time when you had to overperform to be noticed. And he never lost that level of discipline, and he expected it of everyone who worked there, So Black Enterprise was a wonderful experience for me. I still have many, many dear friends who I am connected with through the media company. I learned a lot there. It's where I was able to interview so many amazing people and love them so much.
Yes.
It was my opportunity to kind of sit at the feet of the masters, and there were.
because I asked that question because I know he was old school. He was old
old school Bayesian.
Oh, you're not Bayesian. Oh, you're Bayesian.
Like, come on. So it's like
He old school.
You always had to have, you always had to be dressed. Like women had to wear stockings, men had to wear ties. I won't say who it is, but I remember a leader of an organization came up, and who told his brother to show up in a sweater? Like he spent, I think, the first 15 or 20 minutes talking about how he came, like he didn't come formally dressed for the meeting. But like that's who he was. Like he, there was another incident, and again, I won't mention who the person.
No, mention no names. That's right.
This person was going to lose a contract, and he sat on board, and so he defended this person and was just like, he has the right to say what freedom of speech, and he has the right to say the things that he said, and so you will not cancel this young man's contract. You will review it at the end when it comes up for review, and so this person, I don't even think knows what Mr. Graves had done on his behalf. So a lot of good times, a lot of tough times. We worked really hard. We partied just as hard, and they're great memories, and even more important, just great lessons and great learnings.
And that's where I wanted to go, because in order for you to write a book like this, you had to have learned some very key lessons from each job that you were under and which job that you actually. That's why people like George Fraser, the motivational speaker, always says, "Learn, earn, and return."
That's right. That's what it's about, right?
That's what this book is all about.
So there are no real. At the end of the day, there are no real bad experiences.
Exactly.
There's just all learnings,
That's
right? You could even say that they're Lawrence Scovelshire always says, there are no friends and there are no enemies. Everyone is a teacher.
Yes.
And that's, if you can go through life like that, it's a lot easier.
Yes.
And the advancement is incredible, because then you don't take things too personally.
Now, in the book, would you say that, what would you say is one of the key things that you can look back at and say, our great elder and now ancestor Earl Graves actually contributed to this book, even from another perspective? What would you say was one of the main things in this book that you could say he contributed from what you learned from him?
You know what, the importance of passion, of having a passion and a drive for understanding your calling and stepping into it, and making sure that you step into what your calling is. When I started this, it was a newsletter. Like, he knew nothing about publishing. He started as a newsletter, and I think the story goes, someone suggested, like, if you're going to do a newsletter, why don't you do a magazine? And so this magazine turned into a media company. And so one of the things that is, and it's interesting you're talking about this, because this is actually my next book.
Oh, well.
I'm working on. But the things that you are inspired to do are not necessarily for you. Like, we all want, we all have a passion to be able to create the job that we want, or to live the life we want, whether it's for financial gain or if I say that I'm happy doing what I do. But the whole point of inspiration is to be able to inspire other people to change their lives and to live their lives. So I believe spiritually that when you are given an idea and when you are inspired to do stuff, you get excited, of course, because you're just like, wow, this is a great idea. But I don't really feel like it's for you. It's for you to get done so that you can inspire and impact all the people who are waiting for this idea. And which kind of dovetails into the business that I created with my friend Shay, called Work, Images, and Magic. We're storytellers at heart. That's my thing. And so we created this business platform to help business people tell their story, because everyone was inspired for a reason. Like, either you saw a need to do something, or you went somewhere and this inspiration hit you. But it was because the universe has put you in a space to change some other people's lives. And so it's really important that you follow through on it, because it really is about you. It's about the people who are waiting on you to create this thing.
Those that are just tuning in, please share this video, because we have a great inspiration on this line, because especially for you young ladies, it's definitely the book. Where's the picture? Hold on. Wait, I got my picture of my book right here. Hold on. Let's not play. I got it right here. I want to make sure bang, there it is. Oh, I kick ass at work. I love this title, to tell you the truth. I really do, son. I really love that. I mean, coming out of the fight world and the dojo world is just what it is. That's why I love it. Jiu-jitsu and all that stuff. But again, there's a lot of underprivileged sisters out there that might be watching this, and they might think it's unbelievable for them to even reach that point. And how would this book help them if it's a guide? Because it's not because I know who you are. It's really not about the sale. It's how much you care about people. That's why you wrote the book. So but I know it's important that if they get it, it will be worth the $16 that it says back here, or whatever price it says $16 here. Yeah. It will be worth it, because it will at least help them to have some type of foundation to at least put their life in order, whether it's at a small level or a large level. What would you say to these young ladies that might not have it, may not have gone to have the same education, but they're listening and they want to make a change? What would you say to them right now?
And first of all, it has nothing to do with education.
Okay.
Right? It has everything to do with your intention and what you want for your life. And so what journaling helps you do is it gives you a perspective. You get to write things down, and you'll see that there are patterns to how you've been living your life or how you've been working. And so now you get a chance to look at these patterns and make the necessary changes to be able to enhance where you are. And so what happens with most of us is that we're just kind of, we just run around in life, right? Mm-hmm. Like, think about like a morning routine, right? We're running out of bed. We probably go to the same places to get our food. At least this was before the pandemic. Before, we had these routines where you don't even think about it. You're just moving, right? You've got all these deadlines at work. You kind of compartmentalize like how all these people respond and act. You've got your emotions caught up in all of this, and you haven't really taken time to really look at how you are participating in all of this. Like all of the things that you have, because this is a spiritual show, we can talk about the things that are happening to you are the things that you've called in to your life, right? And so you have to take responsibility for that. And at some point you have to stop saying they, them. You've got to say, okay, what can I do to change, right? What can I do to change the narrative? How can I think about this differently? Like one of my favorite quotes in the book, and I use it a lot in my life, is when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so it's all about perspective. And so, when I was working, I rode the train to work every day. And it was amazing to listen to all the conversations around work, because people are miserable. And they're dissatisfied with bosses, and they're angry at coworkers and dissatisfied with environments. And so it's okay to be dissatisfied and uncomfortable. I actually feel when you're uncomfortable, it's the universe signaling it's time for you to make a change. But then you have to look at that. You just can't complain about being uncomfortable. You have to look at your environment and say, okay, well, how am I contributing to this? How is this similar to what I've experienced before? Because if your complaint in every single job is that I never get paid enough, then it's not the job. It's your approach to asking for the proper salary or asking for the proper title. If you feel you're always undertitled and underpaid, it's not the job. It's how you have been approaching approaching, asking for what you feel you deserve. And so one of the things that I recommend in the book too is to interview when you're not looking, because then you get a sense of what the job market looks like, what it offers. You're not scrambling. You don't need this job because you're in a job. And so you can ask for something. You can really stretch and ask for something and see if it's possible. And so it's important that, again, we're just active. We and there's some exercises in the book that come under the strategy quotes, to let people just, again, to be more aware, more present, more intentional, and dynamic. Like if you're just going to work and doing routine and coming and expecting change, again, if you're this person who's just like, you know what, and I have friends like this. I'm happy going into work. It's a job. I don't care about the people. I'm not trying to get a promotion. I don't want to manage people. That's fine. That's a choice. But if you're someone who wants to move your, you want to move your career, you want to get advances in your pay, you have to be strategic. You have to be intentional, and you have to be decisive about how it is. You have to get your emotions in check and understand. I talk about in the journal the difference between passion and emotion. Passion is all the exuberance you bring to work. Your emotion is your connection to the outcome. Like how emotionally connected are you to everything that happens in the job? And those are the things that derail you. One of the other things that I talk about is the rules of The Godfather, right? The movie or the book, The Godfather. And one of the things that Don Corleone didn't do was he didn't get emotional. And when you watch the movie or read the book, like, who was emotional? It was Sonny. And what happened to Sonny? Like, he was killed. And that's what happens when you allow your emotions to run run anything, right? Because the whole thing is when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, you have to give everything perspective. And we can't, sometimes we operate from, particularly Black folks, right? Sometimes we operate from a real defensive position. Like, I'm not the one. Like, don't try me. Like, it ain't, it better not be this or like we operate. Sometimes we come into environments from a really defensive standpoint instead of going in and looking and seeing who the players are and understanding how they operate and gaining a perspective for why they do things. And then look at how you're interacting and how you're behaving in the environment as well. Like, you have a lot more power than we often, and I'm going to say than we often want to take credit for. I also, I'm not a sports person, but I think athletes are always a good metaphor for business because they bring everything to a performance. Like they show up in full form. Like they do everything they need to do physically to prepare for the performance, and they do everything they got to do mentally for the win. They don't show up to perform and they're thinking about, what they're going to cook for dinner. Like, they are focused on the goal, and they're clear, right? You either win or you lose. There's no like kind of middle ground. Like, you're going for gold. You may get silver, right? And then if they lose, you use that as a winning, as an opportunity to go over, what you did wrong. So, when athletes fall short of a goal, it's like, well, all right, what could I have done to do this better? Like, what did I do that helped, that allowed me to fall short? They don't blame everybody else. I mean, it might be a coach or a referee who made a bad call, but overall, athletes take full responsibility for their performance. And I think that's what we need to do as well.
I love that. Sonia, did you hear me clear this time? I just need to make sure we good first. Okay. What is the one thing, I'm curious, what is the one thing that you wish that someone had told you that you learned along your way as far as doing your journal and writing your book? What is the one thing that you wish you have heard?
That it's important to work smart and not hard. I think as people of color, we are always taught to work we've been told that from birth. You got to work twice as hard, 3 times as hard. And we see that, right, across industry. I mean, look at Barack Obama. If you look at the president before him and the president after him, you know, we always are told that we have to work twice as hard to gain, to make any kind of gain. And it's not really, I mean, hard work is important, but for us, it's a given. It's understanding how to work smart, and to ask for what you are, worth. Like, those are the two things that I think that if I had gotten that at the beginning of my career, things would have, again, like I said in the beginning, I was the person who worked really, really hard and just hoped I was going to get noticed. And I hoped that somebody was going to come and say, and crown me and say, good job, Sonia. Here's all the money that we feel you deserve for this role. And that's not blaming anybody. It's just, that's not a reality. Like, that's just not how that's just not how the workplace operates. And so it's really important for people to take on. And I watched it. I watched my male colleagues, you know, demand and expect certain things, where I was, again, the person who just like worked hard and was like, and I would just take on more responsibility. Ooh, you want me to do? Oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do that too. Oh, I can, and never ask, like, so am I being compensated for this? Or this is what I expect to be compensated for this? I was always just happy to take on more work. And partly in some cases because I love the work, right? But you know, loving the work is one thing, but also being fully compensated is the same thing. You know, I did an article years ago about saying, like, being in a bad job is almost like being in an abusive relationship. You know, the correlations can be the same. You know, the courtship is wonderful, but the romance dies, right, once you get in. You know, once, you know, people will tell you, you know, if you're in a bad relationship, you know, the abuser may say, oh, you know, things will get better, you know, and you believe them, and you sit and wait in anticipation of things changing, and they never change, right? Or you being in a bad job, right, or being in a bad relationship is better than having no job at all. And then when you finally leave, you say to yourself, well, what kept me here all this time? And so if you find yourself repeating these situations over and over again, right, it's really self-esteem. It's what you feel about yourself. And that is, again, what this journal is about. You know, I said this earlier, if you're always underpaid and undertitled, then you have to really look at, it's not your boss, your job, the industry. It's what you feel you are worth and what you are willing to settle for. And, you know, I've heard so many situations where people have asked for a certain amount of money, and they thought they were stretching, and it was way lower than what these people were willing, what the organization was willing to offer. So I always say, talk about your salary, right? You know, as people of color, we like to keep our salaries, you know, hush hush. Tell people what you make, and ask, what is this job? Salary.com and all of those, that's all BS. Like, we need to talk about, like, what people are making, because it's only when you make, you know, whatever you think about, Monique, right? It wasn't until she started talking about the money, then everybody started talking about, and we're just like, oh, that's what you got? Oh, this is what they offered me. And then somebody else got. If no one's talking about the money, then they can offer you anything. And so you always want to know from people in the industry, people at the job, like, what are they typically paying? What did, you know, the person who stretched, like, what did they make? Because people always know. They're always whispering about salaries. In the city, it's interesting because they're all public. So everybody knows and so that was interesting too, going and working in the public sector, because everybody knows what everybody makes, right? But in the private sector, no one wants to discuss it. And that's the power that organizations have if no one wants to discuss it. So we need to get over that. Like, friends don't even know what, like, I know, in whoever's listening to this, in your group of friends, in your circle of friends, like, nobody knows what anybody makes. because we're afraid of people either judging us or having a feeling about what it is, or maybe you don't want people to know you make this much, or you don't want people to know that you make this little. But the less we discuss, the less of an advantage we are for. So I started talking about salary, and so you can see people like, it makes people uncomfortable, but it's the only way you get to know like what to ask for. Mm-hmm. So when the jobs that I went in, somebody said, what, they gave so and so this, so you can ask for that. And I thought I was stretching. Went in and asked for it, and they were just like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Oh."
Is that easy?
When they say, "Okay," you could ask for a whole lot more, right? So it's there's we need to share more information. We need to have these forums, because a lot. Another reason why I wanted to focus on this is because a lot of work information is around entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is really popular right now, and it's a passion of mine. But it's not for everybody. Not everybody's going to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody is going to feel like they can quit their job and tackle all the stuff that goes with working for yourself. And so, if you're going to be in a career, if you're going to be in a job, then you've got to be as strategic as possible, because today things are changing very quickly. Technology is moving really fast. We're in a global economy, and you've got to be able to be swift and smart and have the connections. The other thing with people of color is, we're big on, we just got to go home. We're going to work and we're going to go home. Like, we don't want to eat with those people. We don't want to have drinks with those people. We don't want to hang out after work. Do you know how much information you can get if you sit at a bar with a coworker? You don't have to drink. You can have a glass of club soda. Those people drinking will tell you all sorts of stuff that you would never get in the cafeteria or in the break room or in a meeting.
That's true.
And so those are things like, when the bosses have their holiday, celebration, in the Hamptons or at their country home, like, do you really want to go? No. But the advantage of going is it's strategic. And so those are the things that, and they're all choices again, right? So if you're in an organization, you have to look at the values of the organization and decide, like, is this a company I do want to grow in? Do I like how they conduct business? Do I like how they treat people? And is this a place where I can advance and feel that I will be supported? And you can make those choices for yourself, particularly if you've worked anywhere long enough and you have some experience. If you're just starting out in a job, you gotta, you gotta take some things that you may not want to take because you want to get the experience. But even that you need to be intentional about. Like, what, I'm going to be here for a year, and this is who I'm going to attach myself to. I want to, connect with this person because I know they can get me into something else, and just be really strategic. I always tell people, you don't have to play dirty, but you got to play. It's a game. You don't have to play dirty. You absolutely have to play.
I find it kind of intimidating when you go for a job and you really want the position to ask for a certain salary. Thinking that they could actually turn you away because you're asking for a certain salary based on your value, based on what you feel like you're worth.
That's the fear. That's the fear. You absolutely have to know what the range is, right? So you have to know what you're willing to pay, and you have to be clear on what you're bringing to the table as well. And so what happens is, a lot of us say, and we've had this conversation so many times, I don't want to, put myself outside the range. Mm-hmm. Most of us don't even know what the range is. So you can't be strategic if you're just assuming, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're someone who hasn't been paid, you haven't had success in getting the type of salary that you wanted, you're probably operating at a disadvantage anyway, because you're probably going to assume that the range is a lot less than what they're prepared to offer. And so you have to create your network, and you've got to find somebody inside. You've got to talk to somebody in the industry. Because that's the other thing that we don't do well. Again, particularly Black people of color, we like to be more insular, and you've got to be able to create a network of people who can support you in saying, no, this is unacceptable. You can ask for this. You need to ask for that. We always think we can do it on our own, right? We don't have to say anything. I mean, I even like to use social media as an example, right? So everybody posts about like what party they went to, where they've been hanging out, what they're eating at a restaurant. Very few people will post, hey, I'm out of work. These are my credentials. Can somebody let me know if there's some opportunities out here? And it's part of, it's our culture, right? We don't want to let people know we're out of work. We want to be private about everything. And I have a good friend who's in media. Every single time he was out of work, he posted on Facebook. And every single time he got a better position. He's now a deputy bureau chief living in Europe. And each job he got, he posted on out of work. There's no shame in that. Like, there's no shame if you get let go or if you left your job. There's no shame in that. But we don't want to let people know that, right? We want to show people that we're on vacation, that we're, partying with celebrities, that we're use the tools that you have to be able to get the answers and the information that you need. And a lot of this is us, again, not working in isolation. Like, we need to stop working in isolation. We need to share more about our work experiences so people don't feel like they're alone. Like, you're not, like, none of these work experiences are unique to anyone. You need to talk about your salaries, and you need to create a network of people in your organization, outside of your organization, in your industry, of people that you can connect with, and so that you can get the information. We over-index, and I meant to check the statistics on this, and I haven't lately, but this was maybe 6 or 7 years ago, so I'd like to think that it's improved since then. But we over-index on Black people, over-index on Twitter, we over-index on Instagram, we over-index on Facebook, and we were very underrepresented on LinkedIn, which is where all the recruiters are. So you need to be on LinkedIn. If you're looking for a job or you want to change your job, you need to be on LinkedIn with a full profile, up to date picture of yourself. With all this, Black Lives Matters and all these organizations they're looking for Black people to fill spots. So you need to have your picture up there. I've heard people say that they're ashamed of their names because they'll know they'll know I'm Black. They'll know you're Black when you show up. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you need to have your affiliations there. You're a part of a fraternity or sorority or whoever it is. Like, you need to put all that information there, because people who are looking for diverse candidates, they can't ask if you're diverse. But if all the information is there, your picture is there, IKAAW is there, NAACP volunteer, like, all that information is there. They know who you are. And then move up. Because if they don't, if it's about color, when you show up for the interview, they'll figure out a way to tell you that you're not the appropriate person for the job. So you might as well put all the information out there and let them choose based on the criteria for what they're looking for.
Oh, wow. Sis, you said a mouthful, and I hope that people will share this video, but also study what you said. And of course, let me big up the book.
We got to sell copies. Black-owned publishing.
Black-owned publishing. Right. Let's make sure people now. You see that book there in front. Let me put it in the front there for you. Where's my front there? It's not clicking the way I want it. Is it there? Yeah, it should be. Oh, there it is.
Showed up. Yes.
There you go. There you go. I kick ass at work. Go get the book. Go get. Learn how to kick some ass with Sonia.
Yeah.
We're gonna show you how to kick some ass the Aikido way. Aikido flow in jobs and businesses and careers. But where there's a lot of work, there got to be some play. And I know you got a certain love that you love to do. And I know Dancing is one, but also comedy. I got to talk about your comedy show that you used to produce, or you're still producing. You're about to put out something else. Talk about Ginger Candy Comedy real quick, please.
You had my one of my best friends, and he's the host for the show. You had on Sync last week.
Oh yeah, he's on Facebook right now with us right now.
So big kisses out to Sync. He's one of my best friends.
Yes.
And we came up with this idea. I can't even remember how long ago it was when we did the first one. It was called. I can't even remember the name of the very first one we did. And then we talked about it again 10 years ago to do a platform called Ginger Candy Comedy. And what we wanted to do was talk about the immigrant experience in a very different way, and to have clean comedy and have all of the islands represented. So Think did an amazing job of having Haitian comics and Dominican and Puerto Rican and Bayesian and Jamaican comics come together and just talk about what it's like living in America and Caribbean and being of Caribbean heritage. It was all clean. That's what made us very different. And it was really powerful because I remember when we did our very first show, my dad was alive then. And so my 80-year-old parents were there and my 20-something-year-old kids were there, and they were all laughing and sharing. They could all relate to the jokes. And so, yes, we're looking at relaunching. We're on YouTube. You can go and watch all of the videos. Some of them are in the millions of views. So it was really well received. And yeah. I mean, Sync is an amazing talent.
Yes.
I mean, he's a great friend, but to work with him professionally, and he's got a real passion for comics and treating comedians well too. So that was the other thing, because comedians are grossly underpaid, and so we wanted to create a platform where the talent was supported and just in a proper way, and doing that in a real way too. So yes, we look forward to relaunching that in a major way. Because it's good stuff. It's really good stuff. So thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, I didn't know we were going to.
I have to bring that because that was part of my life too. I've known Sync for years.
Yeah. So if you go to
I'll go back with Sync.
You can watch all of the videos. So that is a love of mine as well. Yeah.
And of course, don't forget dancing, salsa dancing, and no, I'm proud because people, you got a lot of people that work hard but don't know that sometimes you need to just let your hair down and laugh and dance. If you find what you love, then do it. While you're working hard and building your legacy and your generational wealth. You got to let it, because you can't just be all hard. Believe me, you're going to go through a depressive time if you do that. I learned that the hard way.
Also, it inspires creativity,
yes.
Right? And it does create more inspiration. Like, you got to be able to step away. I was talking about the second book that I'm working on. It's I'm calling it the 5 universal laws for success, and it's how you can be successful regardless of where you live, where you've grown up, your education, or anything else. And one of those things, one of the important factors is allowing yourself to have a change of scenery, to be open to experience different things, because that's when the inspiration comes in. Howard Schultz created Starbucks when he was having coffee in Italy. Lin-Manuel wrote Hamilton when he was on vacation and read the book. Like, there's so many stories of people who've created like amazing things. They stepped outside of the grind. I mean, I personally don't even like the word grind and hustle. I respect it for those who use it for marketing purposes or whatever, but nothing that you grind looks good. Like, there's nothing good that comes after the grind. And so it's important that you nurture and that you take care of yourself and that you sit and you find ways to step away. Well, I mean, one of the things that I recommend in the book is that you eat lunch outside of your office every single day. How many of us only eat lunch at our desk while we're at the computer? Like, you don't even have time to really enjoy the food, allow it to do what it's supposed to do. Yeah, you need to step away from the grind so that you can just enjoy and hear and listen and observe and have some other experiences. And so these companies that and not to knock them, where everything is in there, like you don't have to leave for lunch, you don't have to leave for a doctor, you don't have to leave for anything, like everything is right on the campus. I mean, they're good for productivity, and we've been told that these are things that like encourage strong work environments. But yeah, I think that they're damaging to individuals, and you've got to be able to step away from your environment. You can't just make that your life, because the truth of the matter is most of us don't work 9 to 5. Most of us spend 10, 12, 14 hours on our job. And now with all our mobile devices, you're available at home, you're available on vacation. So you can't be connected to the job 24/7. Like, you got to be able to pull away for your sanity, for your creativity, and for your health, right? For your health. Mental.
I want to thank you, of course, for joining us on this journey. I want to thank you very much for coming on the journey. And I know Sister Empress Aisha, she had some wonderful questions. She dropped some nice. I love that. Give us on. I want to give you a well-deserved round of applause. Make sure my applause button works. It looks like this technology is shutting down on me. But where's my? There you go. There you go. Where's my applause button? Right, there you go. All right. There you go. Found it. All right, yeah. I found it. It's been a struggle. I don't know, but thank you very much, my sister. I want to remind everybody to make sure you contact our sister. Of course, it's scrolling on the bottom here. Contact our sister. Please, if you want to email her for consultation or more information, of course, that's Sonia at wordsimagemagic.com, or go to the website wordsimagemagic.com. And don't forget, the book you can purchase at hunterpublishinggroup.com. Publishing Group. Please. Show the love. Please. Show the love. Thank you very much, Sonia, for being a part of the journey, my dear.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear
you. Yes. Okay, good.
Good meeting you, Aisha. I hope to see you again.
It's a pleasure.
And in person.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for you as well.
All right. Take care.
All right. Take care. That was our beautiful sister. Oh man. Woo. This technology was kicking my backside today. I don't know what's happening. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm just wondering about the technology as well. I'm hoping that everyone was able to hear everything that they need to receive. So everything's good though. Yes,
me too. Woo. Well, we just got to make sure everything is going good. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the program, and I enjoyed what she dropped and the wisdom that she shared. And that's what's important, enjoying that wisdom that she shared. And, and I hope that a lot of the people out there pick up on what she said, and use it to their benefit. Mm-hmm. And again, just want to make sure everybody knows that, again, they can get this book at that website that she was talking about, this particular book, I Kick Ass at Work. And the bottom, it says the strategy journal for career professionals by Sonia Alleyne. And once again, her website, you can go for the book is hunterpublishing.com. That's hunterpublishing.com. Can you hear me clearly?
Publishing group. You forgot group.
Yeah, hunterpublishinggroup.com. That's right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was what I needed to say. Thank you. Woo. Well,
King Simon, what I received from that was the most important thing that I received was to just take a breather out of that environment. That was one of the most. The second one was to journal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I usually think about journaling when it just comes to my personal life. So
Right.
to journal about your career, that's pretty awesome. Like just to journal that down, and I hope everyone receives something really good from this. I hope, yeah.
No, they will. They will. As they continue to watch over and over again, they will. You know, that's how this thing works. You know, people got repetition is the mother of memory, as many motivational speakers will say. Repetition is the mother of memory. So the more you constantly watch something over and over again, you'll get it. Again, go to the website to get her book, hunterpublishinggroup.com. That's hunterpublishinggroup.com. Let's say it again, hunterpublishinggroup.com. And of course, if you want to hit her up for some consultation, business consultation, Sonia at wordsimagesmagic.com, or the website is wordsimagesmagic.com. Her and her beautiful friend does that particular website, and they're doing a lot of work out there. And like I said, she used to be part of Black Enterprise. She was part of the financial district, all of that. So when you sit down and do a consultation with somebody like her, you get a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge. She used to work for Earl Graves, Sr., old school, be a John Man. So he used, I know he was old school. I can look at him and tell he old school. You know what I'm saying? So that was the owner and publisher of course, a Black Enterprise magazine. May he rest in peace, you know?
Yes.
And of course. All right, so let's get ready to close on out. Let's share your beautiful advertisement, my sister. Of course, for spiritual upliftment and self-esteem consultation with Empress Aisha Moore, please email her at Empress Aisha Moore at Gmail. And remember, for those products, you can DM her at _adornments. And don't forget Cash App, $ Empress Amour, and PayPal Aisha McBride at gmail.com. Let me tell you, when she go with those orgasmic earrings, anywhere she go, whatever she's wearing, I mean, we was on the street and they was buying from her off the street. That sister from Africa, the Muslim sister, oh my God, assalamu alaikum. And she said, oh, those earrings are beautiful. And when Aisha just started doing her wave, and all of a sudden earrings just come flying out of her hands out of nowhere. And that sister started buying. Then we went to the barbecue with Professor Mo. Big up to Mo, Professor Mo and his wife Michelle and the whole crew. We had a good time over there, and they invited us over there. And man, as soon as they seen her earrings, bang! That orgasmic experience just hit everybody.
Yes.
That orgasmic, like I put on the flyer, it's an orgasmic experience, not just inner, but it's outer. Even the husband wanted to buy the same earrings for his wife that she already seen already. She was already willing to, like, I need those for my wife. You can tell they have the same taste, and they feel it. They're connected. They're connected. So want to thank all of them from over there at the dojo with Professor Mo and his wife and the whole crew that we got to meet. We're going to interview one of the senseis, the sister, one day, Sister Shirley. Saint Cloud. We're gonna definitely sensei. We're gonna hit her up and see if we can get her on. And then when we left and walked up the street, who did we run into when I was looking at while they was making cakes? You remember?
Oh, the cake man. What's his name? The cake man
Raven. Cake man. Those who know who Cake Man Raven knows New York, because Cake Man is the original red velvet cake man, and he used to be on Wendy Williams. He used to be on Michael Baisden's show. He's been on my sister's show when she was on Kiss FM. He's been on my show when I was on WWRL. So, and he used to have me host all of his block parties over there. He had a big Cake Man Raven block party, like for the whole block on Fulton Street and Hanson. And yeah, he got a new store right on. Do I have his promotion somewhere? right on 135th, at the corner of 135th and I think Frederick Douglass Boulevard, right there, right up the block from the dojo. Y'all want some red velvet cake? That man is the man to make it. You know what I'm saying? That's the man to make it. It was good. We were so surprised to see each other. I haven't seen him in so many years. I was like, whoa, I didn't know he was back in town. But that was good. Always connected with people.
I got to send it to you.
Huh?
I got to send you that picture.
Oh, yeah, you got to send me the picture. I didn't get to see them. And I should have took one with him, but he was busy. But, you know, I know he was busy. But I know we got a picture we took and all that. But just want to remind everybody, we do have a content disclaimer all the time. Just want to remind them. You want to read that, darling? Please read it. Can you read it? Or it's too red for you?
Let me see. Yes, content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guests, speakers, and or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advice.
That's right. Okay, you had to turn down the shades. You had to put the shades.
Yeah, I thought I was doing some sun gazing, and it really don't do that. Don't be. Yeah.
Okay. I have to change the color of that fly. I might have to change the color if that's the case to help accommodate and help you out, help your eyes out. Of course, those who want to do a numerovation session with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. For real estate needs, please contact this sister at 347-866-1153. That's 347-866-1153. And if you want to deal with a natural gynecologist, ladies, and anything for the brothers, they got viral stuff for the brothers and things that might deal with congestion and all that. This book is, this website is very good for you. And you can get a 10% off. You can get 10% off at pedalwise.com. As a matter of fact, the owner of Pedalwise, today is her birthday. So happy birthday to you, my sister. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. All right, sister.
So save 10%, King 2020. That's the coupon code if you want to contact. Today is her birthday. Show her some birthday love and go on over there and show her some love. Also, another great sponsor here. We have Her Excellence Deep Healing and Soul Restoration online course. That's right. And it starts on October 11th and every Sunday after that, believe for the whole month. But go to herexcellencecourse.com. That's herexcellencecourse.com. And let's go straight to her because she's coming up this Wednesday. This Wednesday, Empress Dr. Neat returns to King Simon Presents, and she speaks on Her Excellence course. She's going to speak on the priest and, of course, the home priest of the home. And she has a thing where she speaks about the food that is specific for the penis and the vagina. Oh, yeah, there's food that is specific for the penis and the vagina. Yes. Oh, yes. There's particular food that you can eat that helps to strengthen it, that helps to lubricate it, that helps it to feel good. I've tried some of them foods, so I know it. So I can agree that it is helpful, so especially celery. I'll just give y'all one. Celery sticks. Very good food for the brothers.
Specifically for the brothers, okay.
That one is definitely for the brothers. That celery stick. You know what I'm saying? So it's hilarious, but it's great. Also, another note, our dear brother, we're doing a celebration of life and legacy of Dr. Laila Africa. I got this from his wife's page and the website. September 21st. Remember, it's been 6 months since he transitioned. March 21st. It's now September 21st. We're doing that. Upload your memories to social media, pictures and videos of even favorite sayings of Dr. Laila Africa at Twitter at Laila Africa, Facebook at Dr. Laila Africa, YouTube at Laila Africa, and of course on IG at LailaOAfrica.com. LailaOAfrica on IG. So we're doing that celebration. I'm definitely going to be a part of it. And of course, please subscribe to all those channels that we just mentioned, his YouTube, go to his website. This is an official website, www.lailaafrica.com, lailaafrica.com, or lailaafrica.com, and all of his social media content is on there. So enough respect to Doc, and had the pleasure of speaking to his wife, and she's in good spirit today. It was finally, after all this time, I haven't spoken to her wife, but I wanted to make sure she was all right. And I decided to call her, and she just called me back. And I was like, whoa, you called me back. I'm usually just checking on her. You make sure she's all right. But I'm glad that she's in good. It's not easy. So family, just bear with her, support her. And the products are still have high integrity. She's still doing what she got to do. She's just doing what she has to do to stay low. And, just keep her in a prayer. Keep her and the soul and spirit of Dr. Africa in your prayers, because he's doing his transiting. He's doing his thing, and he's working on the other side to get those formulas that they have, because she got a new formula called Virus, man. She laid it down with that one. I even ordered it online, and it's a powerful formula. So you could even get that just in case there's a second wave going on, all that kind of craziness. I'm carrying it with me on my trip, because I'm heading down south for a minute, and I'm carrying that on my trip, of one of the supplements, and a few other things too. From McCabe Judge, I got something from from McCabe too. She got some great stuff. Man, it's a beautiful thing. So, my dear, you ready for some prayer? Prayer time.
Yes.
Let's get on out of here. We're gonna pray and get on out of here. We're gonna use the Dr. Delbert Blair's prayer. And I found this on his website. And can you read it? Can you see that?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so without any further ado, before we do that, let's just big up his website real quick. And we'll close out with the prayer and the music. And we out of here. I'm not going to hold it up. But I sent you a message on the private chat. Did you get it?
Yes, I did. I see it.
So we'll do that right. Okay, so hold on. Let me get Dr. Blair's website. Remember, if you want to continue to support Dr. Blair's legacy, please go to his official website. They got a lot of stuff on there. I just realized when I went there, he got much more stuff than I thought. But he got diodes, he got magnets, he got all kinds of stuff dealing with the health and well-being of our people. Dr. Blair did live to 83, and of course, he was shy of his 83rd birthday. So Dr. Blair, he got the ELF protectors and all that on his site, and his books and everything. So make sure you go to his website and show your love to him, okay? All right. Ready. Please give the prayer, my sister. Go ahead.
Here we go. Okay. Please, Universal Creator, know in our hearts that we love you. Please protect us and this planet on which we live now. Please open our mind, our spirits, and our souls to receive only truth and your love now.
Yes. Thank you very much for that. That's very good. And I'm so honored to be able to share that with the family and continue to share it. I thought I was going to just do it for a month, but I realized that we need prayer in this earth. Mm-hmm. And we need to relax and really and those that couldn't read that here, y'all can look at this and take a snapshot of it right now. You can take a snapshot of that. That's a prayer that you can say before you go to bed. You can say that when you're going out you can carry it with you. Take a snapshot. Everybody take a snapshot of this on your phone or whatever. And just in case you couldn't see that, the other one clearly, this is the original copy that he gave us at a lecture about 10 years ago. And I still have it. So, I'm an archivist, so that's what we do. My dear,
yes.
Don't go too far from your computer. I'm going to send you another link, and we'll talk about that. Okay, so I'm so happy that you was on the show. I want to thank everybody who was tuning in, everybody from around the world, those that are going to share the video, those that were on Twitter, those that are on Facebook at King Simon Productions and King Simon, and those that are here on YouTube. I want to thank all of you for joining, all the sponsors. And once again, we want to thank our beautiful sister, Sonia Alleyne, and,
What happened to you? Okay, so we have another
I left the broadcast. I'm sorry. I pressed something by mistake. Technology. But once again, thank you very much, Aisha. We're going to talk, okay?
Yes, yes.
All right. All right. Take care. One love. All right. Yes. That's our beautiful sister, Aisha Moore. And make sure you support her and show her some love. I'm going to get on out of here a little quicker than usual. Want to thank you. Want to thank everybody that supported. Want to thank everybody that was on Facebook, Instagram, and also on Twitter. Yes. Want to thank you. As I usually say, up you mighty nation, you could accomplish what you will. And like in the more words of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, one love, one aim, one destiny, and of course, Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Regardless of land, label, or language, there's but one creator. Remember that. We are the greatest. I am the greatest. That means you are. So say, I am the greatest to yourself. And let's help for humanity. As you can see on my shelf, help for humanity. We got to help original humanity. Okay. As I close out with the song Black and White Story. And here we go. Y'all stay at peace. Be safe. Stay focused. And we'll talk. Peace. Bye.
Black and white story in me mind. Yeah. Say we have to analyze it. Me, I go tell you little something about white history. Say all they condemn us throughout slavery. They say we were black and very ugly. I lie them a telling of them history. Cause black is beautiful, the whole of them agree. They come out of the mountains and mix up with seed. Here we go, my friends, in the black and white history. Yeah, it's black, 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 it's white, white, white. But let we tell the story. Yes, it's black, black, it's white, white. But let we tell the story. May I go tell you little truth about the black histories. The people who can hear and those who can see. We're the first to come up with anatomy. To analyze the truth about the way body. We're the first to come up with biology. To analyze the lies in the society. We're the first to come up with Egyptology. To construct the pyramids that you see. We're the first to come up with psychology. To analyze the minds in the vicinity. We're the first to come up with musicology. To put the rhythm in your soul and make it rock steady. Correction, my friends, with the black and white history. Yeah, it's black, 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 it's white, white, white. But let we tell the story. Yes, it's black, 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 it's white, white, white. But let we tell the story. Black and white story in me mind. Yeah. Say we have to analyze it. Black and white story in me mind. In me mind. In me mind. We yeah. We yeah. Black and white story in me mind. Oh yeah. Say we have to analyze it. Me, I go tell you little something about white history. Say all they condemn us throughout slavery. They say we were black and very ugly. I lie them and tell enough of them history. Cause that is beautiful, the whole of them agree. They come out of the mountains and mix up the sea. Here we go, my friends, in the black and white history. Yeah, it's black, 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 it's white, white, white. But let we tell the story. Yes, it's black, black, it's white, white. But let we tell the story. Me, I go tell you little truth about the black history. It's the people who can hear and those who can see. We're the first to come up with anatomy. To analyze the truth about the way body. We're the first to come up with biology. To analyze the life in our society. We're the first to come up with Egyptology. To construct the pyramids that you see. We're the first to come up with psychology. To analyze the minds in the vicinity. We're the first to come up with musicology. To put the rhythm in your soul and make it rock steady. Correction, my friends, in the black and white history. Yeah, it's black, 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 it's white, white, but let we tell the story. Yes, it's black, 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 it's white, white, but let we tell the story. Black and white story in me mind.